I've liked Lily for 12 years. Watching her boyfriends change one after another. When everyone thought I could make the Sea King settle down, she blocked me for another man. More than a month later, she stood in the vast sea of roses, blushed, and asked me if I could give her another chance. I took out a big red wedding invitation from my bag and handed it to her, smiling, "I'm getting married next week. I hope you can come." 1. Lily sent a message in the group of childhood friends. "Gather at the usual place tonight, there's something to announce." Zhao Siyu, who has the best relationship with me, teased her, "Oh, so formal, is the Sea King going to settle down?" This kind of joke is not the first time. Before that, Lily would laugh and tell him to get lost. But this time, she only replied, "Hum." A light word, but like a huge stone falling into the water, causing 1,000 waves. The quiet group suddenly exploded. Wow! I'm not mistaken. The scoundrel is coming ashore. RNGE finally saw the light at the end of the tunnel. Let me reason about it. Miss Chen has no romance or ambiguous object recently. The hero is definitely Swayan. It's worth it for NGE to wait for so many years of infatuation. Congratulations. It's not a secret that I like Lily. My exceptions and preferences for her have always been obvious and well known. She also left her tenderness and patience exclusively to me. Lily didn't say anything more, as if acquiescing to the ridicule of our relationship. After all, although she changes boyfriends quickly, she only has me as her bottom line. Anyone would think that my waiting has finally borne fruit. 2. Lily was the last to arrive at the appointment, followed by a shy and introverted boy. The boy is not old, but he looks very good. He seemed a bit nervous, probably because he was in a strange environment and saw strange people. It's like me when I was first brought back to the Lin family 12 years ago. The few people who were still laughing and horsing around seemed to be pressed like a shutdown button, staring blankly at Lily as she turned around and put her arm around the boy's arm. "Let me introduce you, my boyfriend Ji Chuyang." When speaking, her gaze never left Ji Chuyang. There was a gentle look in her eyes that couldn't be resolved. It's like a girl who has just fallen in love. Perhaps feeling the awkward atmosphere, Ji Chuyang tugged at the corners of his mouth and waved his hand at us. The clean male voice was tinged with shy shyness. "Hello everyone." Zhao Siyu was the first to react, laughing exaggeratedly. "You've kept it well hidden. When did you start dating?" As he spoke, he frequently looked at me. Although he concealed it well, after knowing each other for so many years, I could still see his concern at a glance. "Are you afraid of me making a fuss? Or are you afraid that I can't stand it?" I lowered my eyes, shaking the wine glass in my hand. My brain was empty, and my mouth was filled with bitterness. From beginning to end, Lily and I have always been above friendship and below love. She never gave me an identity that could justify my jealousy. What qualification do I have to make a fuss? 3. In recent years, Lily has been wandering among flowers, changing boyfriends every few days. But she has never formally introduced us. We all know what her action implies. Lily shrank further into Ji Chuyang's arms and smiled. "It's been more than 2 months since we got together. Chuyang is a bit shy, so don't scare him." 12 years ago, it was also this group of people, and it was also this sentence, "Swayan is a bit shy, so don't scare him." At that time, I had just been brought back to the Highgate compound of the Lin family in the Imperial City from a small village in the south. I was excluded and ridiculed by everyone because my Mandarin was not standard. It was Lily who took my hand and led me into their circle. When I was 14 years old, the girl who helped me dispel all confusion and panic with a bright smile became my light. Everyone's reaction was subdued, afraid that I would feel uncomfortable. After all, with more than 10 years of friendship, they naturally prefer me to Ji Chuyang in terms of emotions. Moreover, I was already identified as the one who would bear fruit with Lily. The scene fell into silence for a while. Ji Chuyang looked more embarrassed. He lowered his head, gently tugged on Lu Wanru's clothes, and whispered, "Sister, they don't seem to welcome me very much." I frowned slightly when I heard his address, feeling a bit of physical discomfort. 4. When Lily was in her teens, she often used the tactic of sneaking up behind me to attack me during our fights. Either she would snatch something from my hand, or she would suddenly jump on my back, wrap her arms around my neck, and force me to call her sister. She was only 2 months older than me, but she was clever and exasperating. In the end, it was often me who compromised. Because it was only when I blushed and reluctantly called out that sister that she would let me go. At that time, she had not yet faded her childishness, and she would still hold her lady's stance in front of other boys. Just as Lily was about to comfort him, a glass crashed in the corner. It was actually Lu Xiang, who had always been at odds with me. Lu Xiang's handsome face was stern, and his voice was also angry. "Lily, what the hell have you been doing to Lin Xuan for so many years?" Lily's expression also sank, and her gaze searched around. Finally, it settled on me. Then, she lightly opened her lips and said, "I don't know if you've forgotten, but last year we gathered together to celebrate the new year. Zhao Siyu bought fireworks and called us to set them off together." She sat lazily next to me, holding my arm and smiling. "No, our Suiyan wants to stay here with me." Someone started to make fun of it. "When did Suiyan become yours?" She threw a tangerine at them and laughed even more. "Always. Suiyan is my childhood husband." However, in just half a year, she could look me in the eye and calmly say that I was her younger brother. I placed my hand on my heart and gently pressed it. It hurts, it's uncomfortable, but it's far less severe than imagined. On the contrary, there is a sense of relief that finally waited for the result. It's like when I was 14, I sent a short story that I thought was particularly well written to my favorite magazine. But I never received a reply. Until one day more than 12 years later, the magazine replied, telling me that my story had not been accepted. I would only think calmly, "Oh, I see." Originally, in the long wait, the initial passion and longing had already been worn away. My feelings for Lily are the same. It's not that I don't love anymore, it's just that I don't expect anything. So, the result doesn't affect my emotions too much.